Maniacs, welcome back to the channel. Your local bedhead here. Make sure my things are... Maniacs, welcome back to the channel. Your local bedhead here. I thought we would switch things up a little bit and do a video by a channel called 50M Videos, and I think it's 50 million videos. Don't really know a whole lot about this channel, but I did look up a top 10 video for Loch Ness Monsters Spotted. Yeah, I thought we would change things up and try to do a cryptid video, because we haven't done a whole lot of cryptid stuff over here on the channel. So if you do want to see more cryptid stuff, you guys know exactly what to do to make sure that this continues to happen, which is go down below, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. I will just dive into this stuff. The thing about the Loch Ness Monster is, do I believe in the Loch Ness Monster? Not really. And now, out of most of the cryptids, is it most likely to be one that actually could possibly be really out there? Yeah, in a sense, because it's kind of a dinosaur. These things used to exist on this planet, so would it be that crazy to think that maybe some of them could have survived deep in the ocean? Possibly. I don't know everything. I'm not a scientist by any means stretch of the imagination, but it very much possible, I suppose, right? You ever seen the remake of Piranha, where these piranhas were in like this cave and they got broken out, and now all of a sudden these like prehistoric piranhas start killing everybody? Yeah, I just assumed it would be kind of like that. I'm not really sure if he exists, and I think for the most part it's been mostly disproven of all the stuff that we've gathered about the Loch Ness Monster. Photos just don't really look like any creature. Back then it might have, but in today's society it's just easier to spot things that might not be at what they used to appear to be. So with the Loch Ness Monster, I'm very skeptical of the Loch Ness Monster, but maybe this video will prove me wrong. Maybe something will pop up, but I'll be like, oh, that actually is kind of interesting, but I don't know. So give you guys my thoughts. So here we go with 10 times the Loch Ness Monster was spotted.
Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face when you're sleeping.
Alrighty
Whereas
then.
gods and ghosts are purely spiritual, lake monsters are another matter, a subject which offers itself to scientific examination. Modern technology makes it possible to penetrate even the deepest waters in search of proof of the existence of these monsters, which have fired the imagination of locals and visitors alike. Do they really exist, or are they only a product of fantasy?
What is that thing? For a second it looked real. There's no way that's real, because that's the Loch Ness Monster. If it was real, that is the Loch Ness Monster.
Well, one monster
crazy cool
for
looking.
sure lives in the Loch Ness Lake in Scotland. Nessie, dubbed as the Loch Ness Monster, can be found in the deepest parts of the lake. Let's take a look at 10 times the monster was spotted in real life. Number 10. There were 16 sightings of the Loch's mythical monster in 2016, which was the highest number of annual sightings in
Loch's
36
mythical
years.
monster.
The most recent sighting comes from Ian O'Fatahagan from County Donegal, Republic of Ireland, and experienced Nessie hunter. Mr. O'Fatahagan believes he saw a 20 to 25-foot Nessie popping 3 feet out of the water as it swam in Loch Ness. The hunter said it was his 4th sighting of the monster.
As it swam in Loch Ness.
In the year. Earlier that year, scientists from New Zealand extracted DNA samples from across Loch Ness and found no dinosaur DNA. The mythical monster had been rumored to be a plesiosaur, a dinosaur which lived up until the end of the dinosaurs' time on Earth 66 million years ago. Number 9.
Crazy.
State-of-the-art sonar equipment, a yellow submarine, and even a white witch have all been used to try to discover the elusive Loch Ness Monster. If you think that's not real, then you have to think again, as it's not that hard to track down Nessie. All you need is a smartphone. Mysterious images taken from space are making waves with Nessie fans as they appear to show a creature swimming in the world's most famous loch. The pictures were captured separately by 2 amateur hunters.
Whoa. Whoa. Okay, it's something big with fins, but it doesn't look like a Loch Ness Monster. Because you'd think that the neck would be longer, but it looks like it might be a shark or something. That looks more like a shark than a Loch Ness Monster. Or some sort of like whale or something like that. Like more of a shark, though, I would say.
Thane and Andy Dixon, as they used an iPhone satellite map app. It had been feared that the 1,500-year-old legend was over after 18 months without a recognized sighting, but now enthusiasts' hopes have been raised again. Number 8. A YouTuber named OdinZ2 in Norway stopped on a highway when he says something disturbing
Giving credit to
and
some
really
YouTubers.
creepy was going on in the lake near the bridge. Taking advantage of the opportunity, he quickly took out his camera and started recording. If you look carefully, you can see that something huge and shining is emerging from the inside. It can be assumed that some huge sea creature was seen being surfaced there, or it could be a huge pile of garbage. Can't be sure. People in Norway believe that it was Selma, which is basically the Norwegian version of the Loch Ness Monster. This thing looks as huge and weird as a monster. If there's some fishing expert watching this, please let us know what it could be.
Yeah, please. I mean, even in my comment section, like if you know what that could be, I'm kind of leaning more towards it was probably just a bunch of trash piled up together, because it does look kind of crazy when you see a bunch of trash like built up inside a pond or a lake or something and are just kind of floating together. It could be much that, but I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't there. I can't really tell you whether or not that was trash or not. Obviously, the guy wouldn't waste time if it was trash. He wouldn't even pull it out of camera and record it. But then again, he might have, because that's just, again, what people would do for views. I mean, they would just pull out a camera and start recording something that could look weird, even though they could be 100% aware of what it is. If they get it at a good angle, they might be able to convince people that it might be something else. Yeah, leave a comment down in the comment section if you know what that could have been.
Number 7. That's firmly in the realm of myth, but stories about a monster in Lake Brosno abound, essentially making Brosnia Russia's equivalent of the Loch Ness Monster. In 2002, a Russian UFO group organized an expedition to take sonar readings of the lake, reporting a huge jelly-like mass lying just above the lake bed. Since this was Russia, they immediately attached an explosive device at it, prompting it to start rapidly rising to the surface. Fortunately, when the team looked into the water, there was nothing resembling a monster. Some Soviet skeptics have suggested scientific scenarios supposedly solving the serpent sightings. For example, it's possible that hydrogen sulfide occasionally builds up at the bottom of the lake and rushes to the surface, creating an eruption of bubbles that might be mistaken for an underwater creature. Alternatively, a volcanic fracture at the bottom of the lake might eject similar gases.
Okay.
Number 6.
That could explain a lot of, people maybe mistaking something for the Loch Ness Monster. Perfectly understandable. Yeah. Wow, I didn't even know.
One of the most
I knew there were volcanic stuff that goes underneath some of the, oceans and parts of water in the world, but I didn't, wasn't putting that together with this.
Iconic images of Nessie is known as the surgeon's photograph, which many consider to be good evidence of the monster, although doubts about the photograph's authenticity were expressed from the beginning. The image was revealed as a hoax in the 1990s. The photographer, a gynecologist named Robert Kenneth Wilson, never claimed it to be a picture of the monster.
A gynecologist?
He merely claimed to have photographed something in the water. The photo is often cropped to make the monster seem huge, while the original uncropped shot shows the other end of the loch and the monster in the center.
But I could tell that wasn't that big when just looking at the normal picture. It didn't look all that big. You know what it actually looks like? And now that I look at it, it kind of looks like someone swimming and they have their arm up like this, like, paddling and stuff. It kind of looks like that. I wonder if that's what that is. And you can even see where the body is, and it could be a possible shoulder or a head. I don't know. I could be wrong about that, but
just a year before the hoax was revealed, the makers of Discovery Communications documentary Loch Ness Discovered did an analysis of the uncropped image and found a white object evident in every version of the photo, implying that it was on the negative. It seems to be the source of the ripples in the water, almost as if the object was being towed by something, the narrator said, but science cannot rule out that it was just a blemish on the negative. Additionally, the analysis of the full photograph revealed the object to be quite small, only about 2 to 3 feet long.
That's no monster.
Number 5.
Yeah, it's no monster.
Dead Loch Ness Monster. In 1972, newspapers around the world reported that the dead body of the Loch Ness Monster had been found. A team of scientists from a Yorkshire zoo had been on a research expedition when they came across the tragic find. However, it turned out to be an elaborate prank pulled off by one of their colleagues, which gained a lot more attention than he had initially planned. A large bull elephant seal had died at the zoo some weeks earlier. The zookeeper had seen the opportunity for a prank, shaved the seal's whiskers, and patted its mouth to make it look more Nessie-like. The animal was then frozen and taken up to Loch Ness Lake, thrown into the loch for his colleagues to find. The prank gained more attention than the Joker intended when police chased down the English team's truck so that they could retrieve Nessie's body.
That is so fucked up. Even looking at it now, it does not look like any Loch Ness Monster. It looks like a seal, like an actual Yeah, but then again, that goes to show you, and I'm not saying he was trying to do it for publicity or anything. Obviously, the guy apparently says he did not expect it to gain such a make a big deal, but most of the time it's not even for practical prank. It's not for a prank. It's mostly to just take advantage of people, making them think that they found something that's crazy like the Loch Ness Monster or alien bodies and stuff. You know, we have really good artists in the world who can make some really convincing dead bodies and take pictures of them and then post them, and then, yeah, get people sharing those pictures saying, oh, look at that, they found a real alien, or look at that, they found a real Loch Ness Monster. Crazy. Yeah, it's stuff like this that does not really make me 100% believe in the Loch Ness Monsters out there, because, again, I feel like at this point we would have known he was out there, right?
That is a very sick prank.
It is a sick prank.
Doing all that to a dead elephant seal.
That's
Number
sad.
4. Consuela Ross simply wanted to take some photos of the scenery while walking on the banks of Loch Ness with her daughter and granddaughter.
Ness.
But the 50-year-old took home more than just images that day. Ross now claims to have witnessed the Loch Ness Monster and has emerged to the surface
Looks
to
fake.
get some air when a black hump emerged from Britain's biggest loch. However, legend has it that the creature appears along with the tremors on Earth and the swirling bubbles. The 73-year-old...
It looks fake. Everything is so clear, but yet that is so blurry. Why is that? It's so blurry right there. Yeah, they're obviously photoshopped or fake. I don't buy that one bit.
Campbell Ross, Connie's husband, said he regrets staying in the car park because he's also a believer of the strange creature living in the loch. Number 3.
Didn't even look real.
Even though it was sighted in 1933, sightings of the creature on land around the loch reputedly date back to the 16th century. Modern interest in the monster was sparked by a July 22, 1933 sighting. People described the creature as having a large body about 4 feet high and 25 feet long, narrow neck, slightly thicker than an elephant's trunk. The neck had a number of ripples in it. They saw no limbs because the animal was in the water. Not only has the Loch Ness Monster been photographed repeatedly, but it's also been caught on videotape, as recently as 2007, and on sonar equipment.
Look like Godzilla.
Unfortunately, however, the footage...
You know how Godzilla kind of goes like this, like a snake, kind of like in water? That's what it kind of looked like.
Photos are never clear enough to give a definite answer as to what the creature is. Some speculate it may be a plesiosaur, a descendant of old dinosaurs that survived the rest of the dinosaur population. And with that, it's now time for today's subscriber pick. Today's photo was sent to us by a subscriber. If you come across a photo online and want to know more details about it, just send it over to us. We might even feature it on a future video.
That looks like an elephant, with its trunk sticking up out of the water. Like an elephant, like literally raising its head up.
It's very easy to be fooled by this
You could see the eye, dude. I could see the eye right here. It's an elephant, 100%.
picture. It seems like it's the Loch Ness Monster. But if you carefully zoom in, you'll be able to spot its eyes. It's actually an elephant who's in the water taking a bath. The picture's very real, but sadly, not of the Loch Ness Monster. Number 1, the long-awaited confession. This story will blow your mind. In 1934, a doctor named Robert Kenneth Wilson offered a picture to the Daily Mail newspaper. Wilson told the newspaper that he noticed something moving in the Loch Ness and stopped his car to take the photo. Wilson refused to have his name associated with the photo, so it became simply known as the surgeon's photo.
I wonder why he didn't want to be associated with this picture. Because he knew that if one day we ever figured out that it was fake, he would be called out for it? Look what happened anyways.
Talked about it earlier. For decades, this photo was considered to be the best evidence of the existence of the Loch Ness Monster. In 1994, at the age of 93 and near death, Christian confessed that the surgeon's photo taken 60 years ago was a hoax, and the mastermind behind it was his stepfather, Marmaduke Wetherell. He just wanted to fool everyone for decades. In the early 1930s, sightings of the Loch Ness Monster became commonplace.
That is so fucked
Sperling's stepfather was hired by the Daily Mail newspaper to investigate. He found some huge tracks leading to the lake that he proudly displayed to the press. When the Natural History Museum investigated, they quickly discovered that the footprints were a hoax. Wetherell, the name of the stepfather, was humiliated when the newspaper reported this and for being fooled by the prank. For revenge, he asked his stepson, Chris Sperling, to make something that would fool the public. Sperling started with a toy submarine, then added a long neck and a small head, The finished product was about 45 centimeters long and 30 centimeters high. Weatherall then went down to the lake and took some pictures of the so-called monster. To add respectability to the hoax, he convinced Dr. Wilson, whom he knew through a mutual friend, to develop the photo and sell it to the Daily Mail. We know it's a lot to take in, but everything that you have known might just be a lie.
That's fucked up, isn't it? When you sit back and really think about that for a second, you could have gone your entire life thinking that the Loch Ness Monster was real. Imagine looking at this video right now and hearing all the facts. That it was just some guy's dad who just wanted to fool everybody. And he pulled it off. Now, do I find a difference between the Loch Ness Monster and something like the paranormal? Big time. I do. The Loch Ness Monster, who might say that there can't be a creature that could represent this? Of course there could be out there. I mean, for all we know. For the most part, everything that we have come to believe about the Loch Ness Monster, unfortunately, I would go as far as saying like 89% to 95% has probably been just a hoax or a prank just to take advantage of people and just fool people. Practical hoaxes, practical pranks, right? So at least he was kind of honest about it on his deathbed. He just straight up said, I just wanted to fool everybody for a couple ages, you know? It's like, well, you did it, man. You did it. You got people out there really thinking that this thing is out there. I already guarantee I'm going to see comments in the comment section. Well, you'll believe in Bigfoot or you'll believe in the Loch Ness Monster, but you won't believe in Story and Cody. I've gotten those comments. People actually coming at me for believing in Bigfoot. Yeah, I believe in Bigfoot. I want to believe in Bigfoot. You'll believe in those guys, but you won't believe Story and Cody are legit. Because they've already been caught out on a lie. They've already been called out. But the difference is between a lot of these liars and them is that they're still continuing to act like they're telling the truth. But there's a big difference in some creature like this tampering with people's personal feelings and deceased relatives. Big difference. Big difference.
Still believe that there's a monster in the lake, and the rumors will definitely go on forever. That's our list of the 10.
Respectfully to anybody who does believe in the Loch Ness Monster's existence, and I hope you're right. Well, I don't know, because I'm scared of the ocean, but do I believe in it right now? No, I don't. I don't. I think it's been disproven so many times. And then to learn all of that stuff, actually on this video, that it was actually a guy just wanting to prank everybody, kind of makes me doubt it even more now. Top 10 times the Loch Ness Monster was spotted. Nothing really mind-blowing there. Everything looked just about fake or just not the creature. So give your comments down below if you personally believe in the Loch Ness Monster's existence. I'm curious to hear your guys' opinions. Have you ever experienced anything that could have represented the Loch Ness Monster? Let me know in the comment section down below. Again, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will do more videos like this talking about cryptids and things along those lines. But for me, there just hasn't been enough physical proof, and I feel like at this point with our technology, we should be able to find something along the lines of a Loch Ness Monster in the ocean, right? I just feel like at this point, it would be very easy to do. But then again, I don't know everything, so maybe I'm wrong. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.